Alright. Oh, guys, it's Sean, and I'm currently with Johnson, and this is going to be actually a one-on-one podcast-like thing. It's basically just us talking, and we're just chilling out, and, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Yeah, okay. And today's topic is actually working out. So, yeah, do you have any questions or any things that you would like to ask me to start off, or?
Where's my mama?
Okay, I'm pretty sure home, Johnson, but yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, because just to give notice and understanding, me and Johnson have been working out for how long has it been? Like 3 months-ish now?
Yeah, close to
Yeah.
around that time.
So it's like either it's breaching 3 months or we're in 3 months. I'm not totally sure exactly what's the actual amount. I didn't count the days or whatever.
Reaching 3.
Reaching 3?
Yeah,
Okay,
reaching
alright.
3.
So, yeah. To give some context, I was always a gym rat, pretty much. Only basically lost the capability of working out because I literally got sick. I got screwed over, got really sick, and on your hand, I believe you got really busy from school and you had nobody to work out with you, right?
Pretty much, that's correct. When I first started working out about several years ago, I had nobody to really work out with, and I didn't know what I was doing. And obviously, working out at the gym alone is not much fun.
Yeah, it's freaking boring. Like, if anybody has ever worked out at a gym without anybody, it is one of the most saltiest and boringest things you could ever do. It is drier. It is dry as, like, math class, honestly. Like, what would you equivalent working out alone, then?
Good question. I would relate working out alone as, going on a date alone. Pretty much. Or going to the movie theaters alone.
Watching, illicit things alone, right?
Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on.
Being in the bed alone. Right.
And now we're hitting some real facts here.
Okay. Either way. Hey, man. We all know that you've, done some crazy stuff with a couple girls now or whatnot. Okay.
They don't need to know.
Alright. So now let's just get down into some nitty gritty working out things type of thing. What is your least favorite machine or workout?
I would have to say my least favorite machine.
Yeah.
I mean, not really a machine, but I can't, that's just a hard question because I enjoy working out all my muscle groups. But chest is my weakest.
Yeah.
And chest is the one where I need to improve on the most, so I guess I just don't like working out chest that much. Just because of, how weak it's been and,
Yeah.
the struggles of, doing a bench press alone.
So not even cardio? Like you don't hate cardio at all? Like fucking running or something?
Yeah.
Because that's including those things. Because you are working your heart muscle. Right?
Oh, yeah, then obviously cardio.
Yeah.
I don't
Cardio?
Nope.
Well, then which is the worst cardio machine?
I'd say the elliptical.
The elliptical?
Yeah.
The one that the stairs?
No, not
Or
the stair machine.
it's like the one that like you step in.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. That
Oh,
one.
the weird.
The one that
machine.
makes you look like a cross country skier.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get you. Because oh god, I do agree that is a pretty obnoxious workout. I don't like the elliptical personally, but I think my legitimately worst thing that I could work out on actually has to be bench.
Yeah.
Like I really hate bench. I don't know why. Well, because the thing is, I like decline and incline, but I hate flat bench. Flat bench, for some reason, makes me just want to it just makes me want to jump off a wall.
I guess you can say your gains on the bench have been benched.
Oh. Oh, dude, that hurt.
As a side note, I crack puns a lot.
Yeah,
jokes.
this is a one-on-one where I'm gonna suffer for some certain things.
You'll never know when you're gonna suffer. You won't see it coming.
Cause that one was just bad though. It was like bench with bench. Like I don't.
I know that was bad.
yeah,
It was intended to be bad.
I getcha. Okay. Then what is your favorite then?
Oh, does it have to be like favorite machine?
Oh, okay. Let's make it easy. Favorite. What is it called? Muscle group to work out then.
Back.
Back.
Back is definitely my favorite, followed by legs.
Yeah.
Back Reason why is, I always did deadlifts and I always found enjoyment in deadlifts. That nice feeling of pulling up, like 2 plates
Oh,
consecutively makes you feel empowered. Doing like lat pull downs, get those wings going.
That is true, because I'm like if everybody has ever seen like what is it called, Bruce Lee flex and stuff, like he has those sick and nice wings, and I'm like, damn man, because the thing is, I don't think ever anybody really thinks as that as like a, what is it, a show off muscle or anything. Yeah. People just tentatively go like, ooh, like they just see it as just like a thing of strength, and they don't really work much on it. But I'm like, fuck, like am I just in the one few category of weird people that want the wing type of thing?
No, I don't think you're. I don't think you're the only one that wants them. A lot of bodybuilders chase after that, and sometimes some bodybuilders neglect, the rear delts. They neglect their lats sometimes too.
Yeah, because everybody goes ahead and like, of course, bolts their what is it called, like buys and whatnot.
Well, yeah,
like
stereotypical gym rat would always chase the, or no, stereotype. Oops.
You're right, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
Die from lack of air.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, stereotypical like gym person that doesn't focus on legs will always focus on chest, biceps. And,
basically the eagle.
Yeah, basically, pretty much like not proportioning themselves.
Where they basically have twig legs and you could literally just like slap it and no
break. Pretty much.
Yeah, I getcha. Okay, because now for me, I think my honest favorite workout has to be for legs. Honestly, it is the one that I just improve, and I constantly keep going at it because it I never feel wary of doing it. It's just until you literally have done like 2 other fucking full body workouts, and then you're just basically dead.
Well, yeah, man. Like you have calves that are on steroids.
Yeah, I'm surprised because everybody's like first time would actually compliment me for freaking nice calves, but it's like the one thing you never actually really see, and I don't know how like it's part of the base, so it's technically cosmetic and also strong, so it's like shit. It gives that nice tone to the leg, but I'm like,
yeah. Fuck. You know how many guys would kill to have calves like yours? A bunch.
Yeah, that's the surprising part though, because I'm not even sure though. But maybe if we do somehow come across it, if I can come across a picture of it, and like post it, and then people could understand, because we should actually be posting things that we are doing, and so people could get a better picture. Which maybe down the line we could get a what is it called, like a Instagram or something of us actually being stupid in these moments and in our podcasts. Aside from that though. Yeah, like I think legs for me has always been the funnest because I do walk like several hours and I'm like nonstop. I'm like whatever, and it feels good. It's fun. Then here's a good question then. How long are you wanting to bulk for though? Because like the reasoning why I stated, I know a lot of people will say because of season, but have you ever thought about bulking to a point to reach like due to wanting to reach max strength? Like, have you ever wanted to see where you truly stop when it comes down to like pure strength? Like, before you become basically, I can't lift anymore.
I mean, I never really put much thought into, bulking for like an unset amount of time. I always went with the seasons, like from September till, March or, February you would bulk, and then after that you'd cut just in time for summer. I never really chased strength. I just wanted to improve what I was doing. Maybe in the future when I, want to see how much I can do. Okay. Maybe one day I'll consider bulking for a longer period of time.
I see.
But until then, right now my goal is, right now bulking season, maintaining the building up some strength as well.
Yeah.
Improving form, and then once cutting season arrives, then it's just pretty much maintaining my muscle mass while focusing on fat loss.
Yeah, I get you. You basically just want to do like the kind of standard wholesome workout type of
pretty
thing.
Much, yes.
Then here's a good question. Why is it that you work out then, Johnson?
Well, that's a great question. So, for viewers who kind of want to know the backstory of things,
Yeah.
back back when I was in like high school, I was pretty chubby and I was pretty much obese. You know,
In
about
other words, you're
200.
a thick boy, right?
Yeah, that was my thick boy stage, but that
Yeah.
was not my happy thick boy stage. And
Yeah.
often I got made fun of my looks. And, around that time, around high school, I suffered from depression.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that was a contributing factor of my depression was, confidence. I wasn't confident on how I looked. And, the clothes that I wear, sometimes I felt really ugly. And, Asian families aren't really helpful with trying to boost your mental health.
Yeah.
So, I often was ridiculed for my looks too, and it just didn't help. And, one day, after crying myself to sleep, because I just felt really shitty about myself, I just looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a difference. So that's when I joined World Health. And as a side note, World Health is a decent gym, but it's kind of like comparing to Good Life, I'd choose Good Life because
Okay.
what Good Life offers. Anyways, back on topic. I started working out at World Health and I didn't know what I was doing. Like I said, this is why you need a gym partner with you to make your workouts fun and have somebody motivate you. I only hit pretty much legs, calves, and triceps with a bit of biceps each time I went. And the first time that you work out or go to a gym, it's tough. Like, you're getting used to the equipment, you don't know what you're doing, you're afraid of being judged. And, for anybody that wants to, want to work out for the first time, don't be afraid of that because we all start somewhere. Um, I just started doing whatever, and my legs are also my strongest point now because I kept working out on legs consistently. And after that, what I found that was so helpful in working out was, that feeling of, just lifting weights and just improving yourself
Yeah.
is what I was aiming after. And plus, I just wanted to get rid of, I
That-
wanted to be more confident and, wanted to get rid of the fat too.
Okay. Yeah, that like kind of the crappy feeling like when you look at because you even said the whole mirror thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when you look at yourself and you're like, fuck, I could do better. You know what I mean? Like you even mentally,
Yeah.
anytime you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, fuck, man, like I have all these curves and stuff. And don't get me wrong, there are people who are naturally with problematic curves, like in the sense of like medical health and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a teacher straight up bloated, like bloated, stomach problems and everything, but he was crazily fast and strong and whatnot. He was literally a military man. Basically stopped because his basically spine was giving out if he did any more like paratrooping and stuff. So he would have freaking lost the capabilities of walking. Then here's a good question, and I'm gonna first throw it out there. The reasoning why I worked out, and I know it sounds kind of weird and kind of sometimes terrible, but I literally just want to rip a tree out of the ground. Like I don't know if anybody knows why, because people like go like, why the fuck would like all people? Because I'm usually like guy that's more quiet and stuff. Why would I want to work out? No, it's because it's always been a numbers game for me. Right, I'm just gonna make this quick and sweet because I'd rather go on to the pertinent question, but yeah, just number game. I literally just love going up in numbers when it comes down to strength and stuff because it shows improvement. You know what I mean? You go from like, barely not even near a plate to literally a plate to literally 2 plates and then 3, and you're like, oh fuck. And when I say plates, I mean 45 plates, which is like 45 pounds, I believe.
Yeah, 45
Yeah,
pounds.
45 pounds. I don't know what's the current version, but most time people just use pounds in Canada specifically. And it's just a nice, fun thing, you know what I mean? It's like showing that you're going up in numbers. You're like, oh yeah, I can fucking destroy that freaking plate, whatever, later. But here's a good question for you, because you did help me with this, is how would you help people with confidence issues? Specifically because since, going to the gym is a great way how to also boost that, but then how would you suggest anybody, feeling better, especially in their depths, because it's one of the kind of more terrifying things, and that's really hard to pick up. You know what I mean?
What I always thought of, what I would say to somebody in terms of your question, I'd always mention that, when you're going into the gym, you're only here for yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on any other people. You're always, in every gym, you're always going to see the people that ego lift. You're going to see people that don't know what they're doing. You're going to see people that hog the machines. And at first, when you walk into the gym, it's a very daunting environment because, you're afraid of the stigma. You're afraid of, screwing up a workout and, people judging you. But honestly, as long as you're not ego lifting and you're just somebody who's genuinely wanting to improve, it's okay to make mistakes. Like, I made mistakes when I was working out. I did deadlifts with bad form before. I kept, curving my spine. You're not supposed to do that. My bicep curls were, all over the place. Like, it wasn't stationary. I was curling. I was using body momentum to curl, to help me, curl my weights. And to be confident, just keep focusing on the positives. What I did what helped me with my confidence was, I'm that type of person that wants revenge through success. So in the back of my mind, I always think, I think back to the people who made fun of my weight. I think back to the people who put me down, belittled me. And each time I did my workout, in my head, it would just run back that scenario, and it would just encourage me to, lift just so that, you can prove those people who called you fat wrong, that, hey, I'm better than you now.
Yeah.
And in my case, the people who picked on me about my weight before, they ended up being, chubby, and I became fit. And it was, it was nice to see them lose for a change.
Yeah. Like, which is like, it's kind of like leading into something I was gonna say, like how to motivate yourself and whatnot. Because for me, like, always having a partner is always great, right? But like self-motivation, like for me specifically, being able to see the numbers go up is like an addiction. I'm sorry to say, it's like hella addicting. But in some cases, in your case especially, is a great way, because it's like, okay, look, you want to improve people wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you want to able to show something for what, like, what you can say and stuff. Like, it's always been, like, it's truthfully that it's what your blood. And for some other people, that might not be the case in the end all, because, like, I don't know if you agree with me, but, like, I think it's a weird concept that there are people who lift to fuck their girlfriend hard. Like, I heard, like, there's like a university thing where people post and willing to admit to what is it called, like, why they do something. And so this guy admits that he lifts just because he wants to plow his girl up against the wall. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool with you, man. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. So, but finding motivation is probably what really terrifies a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, it is hard, but I think having a gym partner is always like super solid and whatnot.
Yep. That's always the best. It's one of the most common things, help boost motivation. Having somebody, tell you, hey, let's have a set schedule of workouts. Come with me and I'll work out with you. Kind of like how I make you wake up early in the morning just to work out.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I was working out in the past because I needed help with sleep, but I'm fixing it slowly, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Yep.
Is there anything that you would like to ask me then? Like, specifically, maybe like,
Well, I mean, like, from my time with working out with you,
yeah,
I noticed that you don't listen to music while you work out.
Yeah.
And I think you told me the reason for this, but I totally forgot. So you want to quickly elaborate on that?
Okay. So I know that you listen to music to amp yourself, but I actually think of what is it called? Like, okay. So it sounds weird, but I have a friend who is always in the military, right? Like I always knew guys that were basically like they had parents that were in the military and stuff, and I always took it from the perspective of if you really want to focus into doing something crazy, right? Like especially if you need to push yourself, I always imagine where I'm being screamed at in a like horrifying situation. Why? Because then it basically puts me in the shoes of like, hey, don't fuck up. You know what I mean? Like you need a, like if you need to be in this situation where it's like military type of stuff, and like bad things are happening and you need to get yourself going, it's like it keeps yourself to it. You know what I mean? And it's like puts myself in the mindset of going like, hey, if I'm incorrectly doing something, I need to correct this and being like, you know, properly pushing it. And then you have this kind of like working machine. And the reason why I specifically don't want to use music is because I can't do it every single time. Like if I forget my phone or my phone's dead or something, you know, I'm like, oh crap, like how are we gonna do it? Then I can like instead tune myself into the actual style, being like, okay, you know, I need to do this for like family or whatever, you know, like for friends, you know, keep them alive and crap. Then it's like, you know, you gotta push, and I'm like, that's how I always seen it.
Yeah, that's understandable. For me, as you know, yeah, I use music to, you know, pump myself up for, you know, whatever I'm gonna lift. Especially if it's gonna be like my last final set and I want to go hard. I'd throw on like Eminem, you know, throw on some Disturbed, throw on Breaking Benjamin or something, or throw on some like, you know, mumble rap music. Ironically,
Oh, yeah.
But I listen to music also because the difference between you and I in terms of that is I can't tune myself out and focus on my lift just because in the gym you have a lot of weird stuff going on. You're gonna have people like making sexual noises while they lift, and that just throws you off. And I get easily thrown off. And when I was in World Health, there was this guy that, you know, was benching, you know, 2 plates. And understandable, it's tough. But this guy was just like moaning, like really, really sexual.
like that. Oh no.
Like that. And it just like kudos to you if you can tune that out. But for me, like if I heard that throws me off completely. It'll make me laugh really hard, and I will be completely disoriented. And you know, sometimes you hear like random conversations going on, like, you know, people talking about stupid shit, or like,
like us.
well, yeah, that. But hey, that's more tolerable.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when I was in World Health, you know, I would hear a guy talk about how he would just use steroids to boost himself.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you piece of shit.
You're like, no wonder why you're large. Like, damn, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, like I thought you were all natural, but oh, guess I was wrong. And then, you know, I focus on that, and I'm not focused on my lift. So I need music, and I'm pretty much like, if I don't have my music, my workout doesn't feel great.
Oh yeah.
You know, but speaking of which, let's say you did listen to music. Let's say you did.
Yeah.
What would be your top 3 artists to listen to?
Oof. Okay. I think, honestly, because I know what I would need to avoid. I'm terrible at listening with sad songs and stuff, but I think honestly, just like, I know not a lot of people would know this, but it's like pretty much like Monster Cat music, like those like how EDMs and stuff like that, like house. Yeah. Because I don't know, I really just love like upbeat music because then it gets you in the mindset of like, yeah, fucking, you want to like push it, right? But I mean, aside from that, like, I don't think there's a specific artist I would want to, other than like specific songs from artists. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That's
like, I'm sorry to say, but what's that song from Eminem where basically rhymed "mom spaghetti" or something? Oh, that's sorry.
So you mean Lose Yourself?
I think it is "Lose Yourself." But like, yeah, because like that one, like anytime I listen to it, I get amped. Like I straight up get amped, and I haven't really got that with like other songs by him, but it's just that one, I don't know why, it just links with you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, shit. And I know other people have that with, you know, other things, because I know some people could literally listen to like, you know, some fucking Final Fantasy shit and they could literally lift and whatnot, but like I always was like the weird odd guy where it's like there's certain songs that will make me want to go do it, you know what I mean? Like extra hard. And it's freaking weird. Like it's not even like their hardest song where it's like, you know, it's like amping you up. It's just there's like a weird tune to it or something that like just links to your brain and you're like, fuck, this is what makes me go, you know what I mean? So
Oh, well, that's a good answer. I mean, like, you're not weird for that. 'Cause I do understand what you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
certain songs from, again, using the example of Eminem, Lose Yourself, Till I Collapse, are like classic workout songs.
yeah,
Classic. And, you know, some of his newer stuff it's also really good workout songs, too, which is why I, like, blast it. Like, his new album, like, I would say 7 out of 10 of them are good workout songs. And it's more of the fuck you type of workout song. And it's just hard hitting, and it's so good. Top 3 artists. Well, obviously, I have been a fan of Eminem for ages, so he is a go-to artist.
yeah, yeah.
I also listen to Tech Nine. Tech Nine is like an underground rapper from Strange Music. Really good guy. He's been out. He's been in the industry as long, like, I think longer than Eminem has, but his rhyme scheme, his flows are great, and like his music genres will go, like, his style of rap can go from different ranges.
Yeah.
You know, he goes from like that angry rock hip hop to, you know, sad hip hop to, like, you know, dubstep hip hop.
Yeah, yeah.
Too. No, great guy. Kendrick Lamar would be the third one.
Oh yeah,
Kendrick, great guy.
yeah. I respect this.
Yeah.
Like art.
Yep. I also listen to EDM too. EDM's a great pump up
Yeah,
jam.
oh, yeah.
You know, Calvin Harris, Kashmir, Hardwell, good example of artists that I would listen to. Martin Garrix, you know, old school Martin Garrix, old school Tiesto, really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm primarily more underdogs at this point in time. Like I actually remember listening to what is it called, Marshmello's like older songs before he became like big. Like it's weird because I was like, okay, don't get me wrong, I don't personally like them super crazily. I just was like, I've heard this before he became, you know, like mainstream type of stuff, and I'm like, damn. So it's pretty crazy. Then I have a good question for you, because you technically have an emotional link towards working out, right? Mm-hmm. Because you tend to push whenever you want to push really hard. You're like pushing, remembering like, hey, fuck these guys, fuck this stuff, right? Is my question for you is, how do you stabilize that? Because for me, I know whenever I work out, and you saw me, the moment I got freaking emotional, I remembered freaking shit. I was like fucking going ape shit. like legitimately was like, oh, let me just fucking do this completely like way too fast, being pissed off and shit. And I was like, god damn it. And I never understood how you could stay within the calm, because of course I have to do it in the opposite perspective where I go full on emotion and I have to just think about what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I guess the way I do it is more. This is just pure motivation. Like, I'm just using that as temporary anger to push myself to finish, you know, a set, or
Yeah.
you know, finish out like 10 reps. You know, I guess a lot of control. Like, you have to have a lot of control with your thoughts.
Yeah.
You have to remember that, hey, you know, this is the past. You can't change the situation, but you know, it's nice to, you know, think, like, use those things to push yourself. I try not to let it get to me. If
Yeah.
it's something that happened ages ago, letting it get to me has, you know, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because literally the past is the past. Like, you can't do anything about it. But if it's something that's more recent, I can find myself harder to, you know, control myself.
Yeah.
But fortunately, most of these memories that, you know, when I think of when I work out,
Yeah.
are all in the past. That's how I stabilize myself, because, you know, past is the past, can't do shit about it, but it's always a nice motivator, or a nice way to remind myself, like, hey, you know, this guy shot on you, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Like,
I see what you
I'm going to show him that I'm going to lose weight, and I'm going to look better than him, and voila.
Yeah.
Karma was on my side for most of the time.
Oh yeah, okay. Then I have a kind of weird, funky question in this sense. Is so, like, you know how people are basically like, there's the concept of overweight, and then there's just like, you know, like, well, there's like just fat and then obesity, right?
Yep.
And here's my question then about it, just because since we keep on bringing it up, is do you just agree with me then that it's just when it becomes a health concern, or it's slowly becoming a health concern, that like people should consider about it? Because there is high praise for like the larger body and stuff,
Yep.
but like am I like because there's some truth into worrying about somebody's health, you know what I mean? And where's that fine line of going like, hey, like maybe you should actually look out for your health, because there are even people who are, yes, like I'm putting it to the extreme just as an example, but what if you were really worried about a friend's health because like they're maybe potentially becoming overweight, whereas in like a doctor says it, you know what I mean?
Okay. Again, we're treading into some really controversial topics here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not super controversial, but one of the controversial things. So,
Yeah.
to anybody listening to this, do not take offense at all.
Yeah.
This is just merely opinion.
Yeah.
We'd like to hear other opinions from you guys too.
Yeah.
So for me, fit is your definition of healthy. So
Okay.
for me, like somebody saying that they're fit, they can still have like a good amount of body fat on them,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know how I should word this.
Oh, I'll quickly warn people though. Actually, the natural human body amount, I believe, is between actual 10 to 15 body fat, from what I remember. This has been a while ago. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably wrong on that. I just know it's between that range. Just as a quick note, just so people understand.
Yeah. So I guess my definition of being fit is changing my old lifestyle into a new healthier one. So my old lifestyle was I drank pop a lot. I ate a lot of carbs. For me, Asian foods, you can't really escape the carbs. You can't. So I
Hell yeah,
ate
that white rice.
yeah, I would eat 3 bowls of rice. I would eat a lot of meat and not enough veggies. I wouldn't get enough sleep. And me being fit now is I get enough sleep. I portion my rice. I only eat 1 bowl now, or like 1 bowl and like a scoop. I make sure to have my veggies. I make sure to balance my meats, and I make sure that whatever I eat, I reciprocate in the intensity of my workout. So let's say one day I had a whole cheat day, then the next day I'm going to work out hard.
Okay.
And I'm guessing my definition of fit is like I said, changing the lifestyle you previously had into a better one. So for people that are looking to get shredded and think that's fit, it doesn't necessarily have to be that.
Yeah.
It's just feeling better about yourself. And
Yeah.
so like let's say one example is you're a person that loves junk food a lot, but you don't do much physical activity. Then you're not considered fit in a sense.
Okay.
But you want to change that lifestyle. So you switch up your lifestyle, you do more physical activity, you drink more water, you get more sleep, you cut out your chocolates, the sugary stuff, etc.
Yeah.
You cut out your alcohol too.
Yeah.
And you improve your lifestyle. Then you are fit.
Okay.
For a women's perspective, and I don't want to speak for women.
Yeah, because we're both men.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell, but
I think they can tell, man.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, sometimes some people call me certain things, but
my condolences too.
yeah,
But for women, the biggest thing that contributes to society's image of fit is social media.
Yeah.
Social media is like a strong driving force to influence people, especially teenagers and women as well.
yeah.
We often see society's definition of fit as skinny, going on cleanses.
Yeah.
And by the way, cleanses are bullshit. They are unnecessary. That, and they call that fit because that's their definition of what they see as what you should be. But in reality, it's not. That's just a toxic lifestyle. And the theme between all the examples, no matter how much I've like butchered it or like worded it, it always has to do with lifestyle.
Yeah.
So for women, they go on Instagram, they see you know, a model, you know, having a few rib cages, and you know, they're like, wow, this fit model, blah blah blah. Oh, she looks stunning, and then they have that image engraved in their mind, saying, I need to be this. Don't, like, you don't need to be this model's body in order to be fit.
Yeah.
Be fit in how you see yourself. So if you like I said, improve your lifestyle.
Okay.
If you want to, you know, if let's say you're a party goer, you party every time, you know, you don't, like I said, you eat a lot of junk food, you make you don't drink enough water, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, improve your lifestyle, maybe do some exercises, you know, and then when you feel better about yourself, when you feel better about your lifestyle, then in my opinion, you're in that fit range. So in conclusion, being fit isn't necessarily all about having the muscles, the aesthetics. It's all about lifestyle.
Yeah.
Making yourself better than you were before.
Okay. Because I don't know if I'm considerably wrong about this, but the reasoning why I brought up that is because there are some people who do perceive, like, because don't get me wrong, I do not see anybody as potentially the word, you know, fat and healthy mixed together. The reasoning why is because I always learned that there are people who just are unlucky. You know what I mean? Like, there are, because like, through like me understanding and studying some sort of medical, like, actual degree, and like, because I was taught by a surgeon, and what they were told, that like there are people who could fall ill from, like, you know, sicknesses that could bloat your stomach, could bloat, you know, like anything. There's what is it called? I think there's the iodine deficiency, where it literally will give you like a beer belly-esque like stomach, right? And you can't totally say that. And the reasoning why I brought this up is because I want to say right now, as long as you're actually physically healthy, though, and I don't know if I'm considerably wrong for this, in the sense of, if the doctor says, hey, you're physically healthy, right? Like, you know, like you're like, you don't have any like fat potentially, you know, clogging up veins or something of that sort, then you should be just living your standard lifestyle. But it's always about improving yourself just in general. You know what I mean? Like, am I wrong for believing that or no?
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I do agree with you to an extent.
Yeah.
Because, you know, conditions like, you know, what you described, that's unfortunate, and, you know.
Yeah.
But in the end, you know, man, I'm having a massive brain fart here. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Again, the whole central theme, lifestyle.
Yeah.
Focusing on yourself, being better.
Yeah.
And, you know, if a doctor, like Sean was saying, you know, if a doctor you know, says you're physically healthy, just roll with it, to be honest. Don't chase social media fad.
Yeah, like what you're essentially saying is don't fall into, what is it, like, being sheeped or being shepherded.
Yeah, don't follow. Don't, like, I'll give you a good example. You know, I go on Instagram and I see a bunch of, hey, I went on this juice cleanse for 7 days, and all I drank was this cleanse, and I lost a bunch of weight. Well, obviously you lost a bunch of weight because you've just deprived your body of its necessary, like, nutrients by just drinking this cleanse.
Yeah.
And of course you're going to lose a lot of weight because you're just, like I said, you're starving your body. But the problem is, a lot of the health industry, there are people who find a lot of ways to take advantage of people.
Yeah.
And health is such a big investment. You know, for example, I heard one time at this Vancouver night market, there's this vendor that sold hot dog water that claimed it could control weight loss. Like, literally boiling hot dogs in water can control weight loss. Like, that's one example of pure bullshit. Like, that's just pure bullshit that I cannot stand for. And to charge people, like, you know, $30-$40 for a bottle of hot dog water, that's absurd.
Just obscene.
That's absurd. And, you know, a lot of as seen on TV products, for example, you know, they have this little, like, weight loss belt that claims that the vibrations will melt away the fat. No, not necessarily. It's just basically one giant heat pad on your stomach, claiming to melt your fat.
Yeah.
Only way you melt fat, honestly, either the extreme measure of liposuction, which I don't encourage, or B, changing up your lifestyle and becoming physically active,
Yeah.
which I always encourage.
Okay.
But that's pretty much what I think about, people taking advantage of the health industry by doing these things. They're just crooked, and
Yeah.
I want to punch some of them in the face.
Okay. Yeah, I do fully agree with you because it like it is a really crappy thing to do, right? Like at the end of the day. Then because alongside with that though, I do have a kind of weird, funky question that does linger sort of into it, but it's do you then agree with me that some people have been taking way too much, like, because you know how the people you like taking protein makes sense when you're working out, right?
Yeah.
And I, just to notify everybody, I do not actually take that much protein. I mean, if I come across a protein drink that my friend's like, hey, you want a drink or whatever, I'll drink it.
Strawberry Storm at Booster Juice, really good.
Yeah. Oh god, that stuff is delicious, and we're not sponsored or anything. It's just fully, we're just being honest. It's just good. It was delicious, and this guy gets it for me occasionally, and it's like it's hella nice, but. Here's then a good question, and kind of a good point is, do you think that people are actually potentially taking too much protein? Because there is an actual thing of that, and the reason why I mention it is because you know how we are seeing a lot of people basically, chug protein powder like it's fucking water, right? And then honestly, do you fear then that you might be taking too much? Because there is actual scientific truth about what I'm speaking. So.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from as well,
Yeah.
and I do think there's anything that you take will have some sort of what if you overtake it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So for example, people trying to bulk up, they obviously have to eat more. They have to probably intake more protein
Yeah.
as well, and especially with bodybuilders as well, their protein count is insane.
Yep.
Giving you a good example. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, his calorie count for meals, insane. There's a shit ton of protein in there. So to answer that question, it depends.
Yeah.
If you are just maintaining,
Yeah.
then of course you need the right amount of protein,
Okay.
but you don't need to overtake over, like, let's say chug 3 protein shakes a day.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
need that if you're just maintaining.
Yeah.
If you're trying to bulk up, yeah, that's necessary.
Well,
That's
yeah.
definitely necessary.
Definitely.
If you're going for powerlifting and you're not chasing the aesthetics of it, but just raw strength, yeah, you're gonna need protein. Man.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to eat a lot. If you're a cross country runner, you're not gonna need that much protein. You're gonna need like 1 protein shake and you're good. That's pretty much my stance on it. So for me, because I'm here to build some muscle, I am taking more protein than needed. So maybe 2 protein shakes a day, but
Yeah.
I take the Vega One protein. Again, I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying what I take.
Yep.
And it has about 20 grams of protein per scoop, which if I'm taking 2 shakes of that, not too much.
Yeah. It's like
protein.
40 grams of
40 grams of
yeah,
protein, just that. And I get my protein from
Yeah.
meats and other things too, and I meet my protein count. But yeah, I would just say, watch, depending on your goal, it should determine how much protein you're taking.
Yeah.
So basically, in short, if you're bodybuilding and you're bulking up, take as much protein as you need.
Okay.
If you are just maintaining, take a
Yeah.
moderate amount. If you are not maintaining but you're just toning, just a bit of protein.
Yeah. Because the reason why I do mention it is because I honestly have to say though, I believe that a lot of people kind of like do not actually double check with even their doctors
Yep.
to see how much actually protein and stuff they take. Because it's funny, I have a kind of funny story about like what I was told. That there's actually, like, I think it was Bart Kwong who was saying this, and don't get me wrong, the guy's sometimes really stupid, but I do hear and understand what he was saying, because there are the misconceptions, and this does lead into, like, don't fall into those traps and whatnot, because there was like a group of Chinese dudes basically that like they're getting actually technically obese because they followed the American style of food eating. And I found out through my classes that actually food intake in general and what you actually eat does fall under your actual race and culture and stuff. And it sounds really weird because people are like, no, you're still human and stuff. But it turns out there is a big difference because between me and my teacher who taught dietary needs and stuff, he told me that specifically that, you know, like not everybody should eat the same, you know, no matter what. Yeah, exactly. Even, you know, brothers and sisters don't eat the same. Like if you literally took me and Johnson over here, me and him don't eat the fucking same whatsoever. You know, I go home and I could eat like fuckloads of vegetables, but I still need an ass load of meat or something, right? Maybe Johnson doesn't need as much meat or needs like twice as much as vegetables than I do. You know, like at the end of the day, I would honestly say be careful about what you eat though. And this does raise my question for you then, Johnson. Yeah. Do you then think that a lot of people, because we are talking potentially about people who are new coming to working out and stuff, is like, do you think that people might fall into that mistake of accidentally taking or undertaking too much protein or unhealthy eating because there are a lot of times where people shrink down?
Yeah. Good case of this is, you know, going on diets, you know,
yeah.
like weight loss. Mm-hmm. As we all know, dieting is a major contributing factor of losing weight as well. Mm-hmm. For example, abs. Your abs are made in the kitchen. That's true. Because what you eat affects how they show up. And abs is the hardest thing to get. It is extremely hard. Because you got to melt down all of that fat until you hit, you know, the 15% body fat range. Then you get the outline. And then when you shrink down lower, that's where it becomes more fun. People dieting, you know, they give in to temptations. The biggest thing that people do that ruins their diet is temptations. So all of us have experienced some sort of temptation. Like, you know, I crave, you know, my biggest temptation is, you know, McDonald's fries. I really love McDonald's fries. And, you know, getting a large size of it is freaking like 500, 600 calories. And it's just so good. You know, next thing you know, KFC. I love KFC.
Yeah.
I love, you know, cookies and cream. And sometimes I find myself guilty of, after having a good workout, I go find myself eating some cookies and cream.
Yeah.
I would just say people can fall into that. Just remember that you are allowed to fall off some days, but just remember to get back up. So what I'm saying is, if you eat really shitty one day, the next day eat really healthy.
Yeah.
Eat really healthy, work out a little more.
Yeah.
If you eat very healthy for, you know, let's say 3 weeks and you haven't had one cheat day, indulge yourself on a cheat day. It's all about balance in the end.
Yeah.
You know, people looking to lose weight, yeah, it's a daunting task to watch what you eat. And especially for, you know, Asian cultures, you know, it's so hard to, you know, watch what you eat because, you know, most of our foods are carb heavy, oil heavy, you know.
Yeah.
Somewhat fat heavy meals.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, going on diets is extremely challenging. And I think research shows that in order for a habit to fully kick in, it takes about 3 weeks. So 3 weeks of dieting, you know, 21 days of just getting into a strict regimen of just eating clean or leaner can really take a lot out on people.
Yeah.
And, you know, admittingly, I've been the victim of that too. You know, I'm 2 weeks in and all of a sudden my mom makes some bomb-ass fried rice. Or, you know, my mom makes some nice, juicy roast beef.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck, I want some of that, you know?
Yeah.
And you just eat a bit and you're like, I'll have some more. And you'll have more. And then you're like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to indulge.
Yeah.
Which does kind of raise to one of like my points is that if you are feeling like you're going to relapse, there is the concept of, first of all, careful of your diets. Check your carbs and stuff and like check your actual full blown macros and, you know, like to
macros, micros.
Yeah, macros and micros. Because First of all, do not starve yourself.
Yeah.
Just saying it straight right now. Do not starve yourself. No matter what you do, check with a doctor at the time you go on a diet, stuff like that. The reasoning why I state that is because, hell, there are a lot of people who shrink when they go on, working out and stuff, and it's really bad. It's unhealthy. It's horrible for your body. And I know a lot of people will say, but there's this type of style of diet. But I'm like, yeah, but be careful. Unless your doctor says, hey, this is for you, or you can do it, then, take it from the doctor. But aside from that, like, just make sure to enjoy yourself, though. You know what I mean? Like, anytime people say, like, hey, I can't totally do this, but, like, try fitting stuff into your own diet, too. I've seen people try it, and they've successfully done it. They fit, like, a pizza in there. But, like, they had to check how much fats and stuff if you're good at doing, like, macros and stuff. If you're smart about it.
Another thing as well is don't always calorie count.
Yeah.
Don't always. It depends on the goal. If you are on a calorie surplus, just remember not to chase calorie count to an extent.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be always a deciding factor. Because, if let's say you're losing weight and you just undercut yourself severely, like let's say you have a general diet of 3,000 calories a day, and you all of a sudden just eat 1,000 calories per day.
Yeah.
We're reaching some extreme unhealthy levels here, and your body is going to get thrown out of the loop.
Yeah.
Same thing with people who do like intermittent fasting or keto. Intermittent fasting, for those who don't know, is a pretty much during a certain part, generally, like, you don't eat any breakfast. You just don't eat anything, or you drink black coffee, and that's it. And then after that, you eat 2 big meals. So your lunch and dinner with a bit of snacks. For me, I tried that. I couldn't do it because I'm that person that functions on, a breakfast. I need a breakfast. For some people, intermittent fasting works. Good on them if it works. For keto, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's a no carb. It's a no carb diet.
Yeah.
You just eat like meats, veggies,
Yeah.
anything. In reality, carbs are everywhere. You can't really escape them. But with a keto diet, you don't really have much carbs in it. And, carbs is considered one of the biggest contributing, factors for weight gains.
Yeah.
But, I've seen people who need their carbs. They need to have their balance.
Yeah.
They can't do a keto diet because they just need
It's
the
just
balance.
your body, like, because the last thing I would want to really note, and I want to push heavily, as much as everybody could read, like, oh, hey, this is how you do this, how to do that, check with your body. That's the number one thing I would love to respect with everybody, is check with your body, and because you're a doctor, because then your doctor will check your body for you.
Yeah, always. Pretty much listen to your needs, because your needs cater differently than everybody else. You can't, like, for me, I always wanted to try intermittent fasting and keto, and I just realistically can't.
Yeah.
So I have to, listen to my body and be like, okay, watch what I eat, or if I eat more of it, if I eat something more, I'm gonna work out harder to kind of compensate. Or if I eat clean, blah blah blah, treat myself for one day, that's pretty much my perspective on that topic.
Yeah. Because when it comes down to it, it's like what I was already pretty much hinting and pointing at. Just double check with yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't fall into those kind of crazy categories, because it's such an easy loop. Because it does go into that, big fear of you only see a fat you, in the mirror. And it becomes a psychological thing where you're literally fighting your mental mind about it. And, like, at the end of the day, guys, if you do not feel like you're potentially healthy in the mind state, right, and you potentially harm yourself, do not repeat. I do not condone anybody going to diets like those, respectively. If like, don't press yourself if you're potentially, causing more harm at the end of the day, right? Like, as much as we, like, in the gym could say, you could do one more or whatever, be honest with yourself, though. You know what I mean? If you realize you cannot push that one last one, then honestly do not do it. It's like there's like the concept of pushing yourself and then harming yourself. You know, be careful always.
Yep.
I guess just to get on a lighter note though, what would be your more favorite cheat meal? Like the most grotesque, like the one that you would literally eat if you're like, I want to basically die from a food coma though.
That's a tough one. That's a really, really, really tough one.
Okay.
And man, why you gotta make me do this? I just go on an all you can eat sushi spree.
All you can eat sushi.
Yo, man.
But, okay, then here's the question. Then, what type of sushi specifically? Like,
you
is there any certain fish type of?
Like, all the sashimi. Huge fan of sashimi.
Okay.
Salmon, tuna, mackerel,
Yeah.
all the sushi rolls. Hit up a kinjo.
Okay.
Just eat.
So-
eat and eat. If it wasn't like Asian cuisine, we're in Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Just
Oh
nasty
yeah.
Popeyes.
It's a nasty, good old fashioned Popeyes.
Yeah,
Just the greasiness.
Yep.
Yeah. No pies. Well, okay. I give you 3 then.
Okay.
Something fried. So you already said Popeyes, right? Something has to be sweet, like pie, cake, or
Ice
something.
cream.
else. Ice cream.
Cookies and cream ice cream.
Cookies and cream ice cream. Okay.
Yep.
Shit. And then the last one would be, what would be then your favorite alcoholic drink that you would go for? Like let's go full blown cheat.
For a
type thing.
beer, I'm
Yeah.
always a fan of Heineken. I've always liked Heinekens.
Okay. Heineken.
Heineken.
Yeah.
Heineken would be my go-to. Dessert-wise, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream is where it's at, man.
Okay, then because I'm gonna press you on the liquor side a little bit more,
Oh, man.
just because we're gonna have a little fun with this.
All right.
What then hard liquor would you go then for if you had to? Like you're at a party, your friends are like, hey, let's have fun and
Moonshine.
moonshine.
Yep.
Oh shit, you went from like 0 to 100, just like.
Moonshine
damn,
is
man.
just like asking for heartburn, but it's kind of pleasant, but not really.
I see. Okay. All right. And then the final one is, what is the mixed drink would you drink? It has to be mixed. Like no, like you can go old fashions and stuff, but like nothing of like, oh, it's just whiskey and rum mixed or whatever. Something
White
weird.
Russians and Black Russians.
Ooh, why?
Basically they're like the Russian stronger version of Bailey's.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it tastes, and especially White Russian, it has that nice Oreo milkshake taste to it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm being crazy for this, but I remember I had, somebody serve it to me, and I was like, damn, this actually tastes really good. Like, it was mixed really well. Oh, had a nice, really, like a really good taste to it. Black Russian is essentially just, the White Russian without the milk.
Oh, I see.
So it's the more intense version of Bailey's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
That's how I would describe it. I recommend you guys try it. I will endorse White Russian for sure. Any tequila mixture is a
Really? Is there a story behind it?
yes. There's a story to
Okay.
it. In my first year of university, at the end of the year at UC, there's always something called BSD, and I never been drunk before, so I was like, okay, on this day I want to participate in BSD. So me being a dumbass, I don't eat breakfast that day.
Oh no.
And already you know what's going to happen. But let me just tell you anyways. So a few friends and I, we go do beer pong at our place. And, we gather with some friends, play. I am bleh at beer pong. I mean, I have my moments, but I just suck in general. And I was up against one of the teams, and they kept sinking in shots. I became a hero, and I started drinking every single thing.
Oh no.
So I remember I took in some gin. I took in a lot of Baileys,
Okay.
rum and coke. Some shots of tequila. And what really messed me up
was the last shot of tequila. I think it was like the second or third one.
Oh.
Because we were about to head back to the actual BSD event. And my friend's like, hey, you want another, tequila shot? And I'm like, sure. I didn't eat my breakfast until midway during beer pong. That was the worst mistake.
Oh,
Because I was basically drinking already on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
And the mixture of alcohol contributed to me being blackout drunk at 12 p.m.
Damn.
Yep. So
Holy shit.
basically, I was the drunk person on transit, throwing up everywhere. Just like I didn't remember what happened. Like I remember getting on a bus and next thing you know, I'm in a medical tent at USC.
Oh shit.
Yeah, shit is right.
Holy shit.
Because I was just, like, I remember when the first time I just woke up. I'm confused. I'm throwing up, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, like you took in a lot." I'm like, "No shit, no fucking shit."
You're like, well, what the fuck exactly happened? How did I go from a train to here? What the
Yeah,
hell?
and apparently my friends managed to haul my heavy ass up the stairs from
Damn.
UC
And
and
shit.
get me to the medical tent. And I'm like, well, thank you for that. And, they managed to get a hold of my parents too. So my mom. And my mom, was rightfully mad. I came home a little, like, bleh. And my mom gave me the lecture. And, it was called for. I was a dumbass at that time.
Mm-hmm.
My dad just gave me a 5-minute lecture basically consisting of, you're stupid. And I'm like, fair enough. I'm not really that type of person that, goes out of my way to drink until I get fucked up. I
Yeah.
drink for the occasion
Yeah.
now. But I've never been that type of person that like freaking every Friday or Saturday I will get myself blackout wasted.
Wait, so then is this the only time you actually blacked out ever?
Yeah, only once.
Okay.
I've gotten drunk once. I've been tipsy before, but no. I've only been drunk and blackout drunk once.
Okay. Then I have one other question for you then.
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with somebody else that being drunk then?
Oh yeah. Second year.
Uh-huh.
My friends who took care of me, I owed them. So I took care of them.
Oh, okay.
So, my friends, they were drunk because, they missed out on BST. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'll be the mom this time.
Yeah.
I drank more responsibly now. Like, on the second year of BSD, we gather at this place called Last Defense Lounge at UFC.
Yeah.
And we eat these dirty chicken nachos with cheese everywhere.
Oof.
And like
Shit.
olives and peppers and all that stuff. And it was just oily. And we pre-ate and we pre-drank there. And like the fat from the meal helped.
Yeah.
And then we get to the main event. We're all partying. We're out having a good time. And my close friends, they start drinking beers, and I pretty much remember everything on that day. I don't know. I chugged a glass of beer. I drank a lot of beer. This time I didn't go for hard alcohol. It was just beer. Mm-hmm. And I just kept drinking and drinking that. And I remember I did a chug off with my friend, and he was actually like drunk. And so him and his girlfriend were drunk, and they were just like making out. And then my other friends were like making out with other people too. And I'm like, well, all right, cool. And there's me just chugging my beers, and I'm saying hi to my friends, and and one time they're basically this whole second year of BST was just them making out. I'm watching while I'm still having a good time, and then when the event is over, I'm slightly tipsy, but I remember everything, and they still remember everything. But they had a wild time, a very, very wild time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't black out.
They didn't black out.
So-
They were just drunk. They were just literally.
They were just
drunk.
hammered.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
like
just
hammering it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, shit. Because that's pretty crazy then.
Yep.
Oh my god. Because I already said what happened to me. I think I told you too.
Yep.
Where I literally was fucking the only time I was blacked out drunk was when I was 6, which is terrible. I don't think it helped with my mental health or any growth. But yeah,
Okay.
Oh yeah, 5-3 here, buddy. It's okay. Yeah. Aside from that, do you have any closing things? Anything that you want to say to the viewers? Because I think if I was gonna make one question for you guys is, if you do work out, why do you work out? And drop it in the comments below. That is just one of my curious things. Why do people work out?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, we'd like to hear from you. And like I said, as a disclaimer, this is my first ever time being involved in a podcast. So, obviously, maybe some of the things that I said was like a bunch of ramblings. Don't mind me. Probably, like, I will be in future podcasts, but just I don't know how frequently, just because I have a really busy schedule. But this was actually a really fun podcast to do, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. But you don't have any closing things at all? Like any questions that you guys want to ask the viewer?
No, not really. I think I think that question would suffice.
Would suffice?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully everybody enjoys the time, and this is going to be closing out. So peace.
Peace.